come on in because we are here back reviewing King's Court. And I am on episode 7. I know I'm behind, but I'm going to catch up. But as I'm catching up on this episode, all I got to say is, what in the R. Kelly is going on? You have got to be kidding me, y'all. You mean to tell me that the celebrity that Sarah dated was R. Kelly? Oh my goodness. Boy, R. Kelly, P. Diddy, I would keep it a secret. I wouldn't tell nobody because here's the thing. What did you have to do to date R. Kelly? Ugh. That is a date killer. A date killer. P. Diddy, R. Kelly, who want to come after that? I don't know. I feel sorry for her. I really do. I would bar my friends from telling anyone that I dated R. Kelly. I would I would make all of them swear to privacy secrecy. I would never tell anyone at all. I would wipe it completely away from my entire life. And then if someone said, "Didn't you date R. Kelly?" I would say, "No, I don't know. I never dated him. I don't know what you're talking about." I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But as we start talking about unbelievable things and we start talking about what kind of message does it send when we talk about who we dated, I have to bring up the fact of what the heck is going on with Thaddeus. Now, hear me out. Remember the last time I told you that Thaddeus had a weird reaction to outspoken women? I said in my last videos, if any of you guys remember it, because I'm about to double down on it, that as much as Thaddeus says he likes intelligent women, confident women, outspoken women, aggressive, he's used that word, assertive, he likes it on paper. He don't like it in practice because on paper he likes it. And on paper, he's always encouraging women to speak up, speak your mind, be brave, be courageous. But the minute you do any of that, you speak your mind, you become courageous, you speak up for yourself, you express the way you feel, Thaddeus punishes you. He punishes you. And I know Thaddeus is in therapy, but he's got to get a hold of this because this is clearly coming from his past life. I saw an interview with Thaddeus, and he said that one of the reasons why he really didn't like his mother when he was younger was because his mother raised him with the mentality of, do what I say because I'm your mother, don't ask any questions. Kind of like, well, why do I have to do that? Because I said so. And remember, Thaddeus' mother was only 12 years old when she had him, 13 years old, which meant you have a 5-year-old having an 18-year-old tell him what to do. And there could have been a situation where the mother really didn't know the right answer herself, but Thaddeus had to follow a person who, although she was the authority figure, she didn't have the maturity to make good decisions. And now you see Thaddeus in a lot of ways punishing women for any type of emotion they have, any type of thought they have, any type of assertiveness. In one way, he wants this strong, confident, intelligent woman. He loves all these women with doctor degrees, Dr. Shawana, Ariel's a doctor, Dr. Kalia. But yet, when these women step into their brilliant part of themselves, Thaddeus can't handle it. And in this episode, it became the death of Dr. Kalia. She's not going to make it. I don't see him choosing her. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm only on episode 7. But when she sat down with Thaddeus to tell him that she was pissed, humiliated, and confused and hurt by being put in the elimination round. After she expressed herself, he said to her, "Are you finished?" That's what he said. How demeaning. Are you finished? And although he was right that when he tried to respond to her, she did interrupt him, he was correct about that. I just felt that the way he handled her was all wrong. Now, should she have brought up the comparison of her to Carlos? Maybe not. She could have still made her point. The point she was making was she wanted to see a man like Carlos who knows what he wants, like how he wants Janae, goes after it and sticks with it. She's attracted to that decisiveness. I get it. She could have explained that she's attracted to that decisiveness, but without doing it in a comparison format, because that comparison format is what really got Thaddeus going. But the way he handled her and tried to check her and say, can I have the same level of respect or whatever of not being interrupted because you're not hearing me out? I got it. I got it. But I also felt it was a bit condescending. And I also felt that he creates these traps for women. He invites you in to express yourself, opens the door, encourages you. Then after you do it, he lets you go. He even did it in this episode with, I think her name is Brianna. Is that her name? Who went home? He said that he wanted her to be more assertive, more aggressive, more all these things, more confident. That was what he said about her. I wanted her to be more confident. But then as she started being more confident, then he eliminated her and told her, well, it's too late. This is weird, that is. This is really weird. It's almost like you set the woman up to fail. I think the only reason why Ariel is hanging on and she isn't getting in his crosshairs is because on that incident in the pool where she sort of chimed up and he had to pull her to the side, she learned her lesson and she didn't fall for the trick anymore. The trick is when Thaddeus tells you to open up, be more assertive, express yourself. The trick is don't do it because it's a trap. He really, really can't handle it. And in the end, he shut down the conversation. He basically told Dr. Kalia, I'm going to have to circle back to this when I feel more comfortable. And that way we can better learn how to communicate in conflict. So it was actually Dr. Kalia who was having some of the hurt feelings. She was the one that was filled with a lot of emotion. But in the end, it ended up being that they had to cater to sort of the discomfort of Thaddeus. I found it very, very interesting and disturbing all at the same time. But the other person who really did unwind and unravel this episode was Edelweiss. She should have been gone a long time ago. And I don't even know why she's putting herself through this pain and anguish. These men are clearly not interested in her. They're just keeping her around for entertainment value, just to have another extra body there. But I don't know why she hasn't dismissed herself a long time ago. And what's crazy about it is Edelweiss somehow is staying there to prove to herself she's not a runner. You see, she keeps saying she runs a lot from relationships, but of all the times to sort of stick in there and grind it out, Edelweiss chose this time. Girl, what for? You should have been gone long, long, long time ago. And everyone's trying to console her and tell her to stay. And, Tyson is going over there trying to get her to stay and say, please don't give up, only for at the end of the show for them to eliminate her. This is horrible. This is horrible, the way that they are pushing and pulling these women, laying traps for them to behave in ways that they're uncomfortable with. And then when they go along and follow the lead of the man and do what the man says, then the man at the end says, okay, I'm glad you did it, but it wasn't enough. It was too late. It was too much. It was too little. And now I'm going to get rid of you. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But I'm glad Edelweiss is done and gone because it was excruciating to watch it. It really was. In this episode, they got to meet the Queen's friends and family. And Ariel brought her twin sister and said that, well, Ariel is very sensitive and she pops off a lot. This part isn't going to blend well with Thaddeus. Thaddeus cannot handle a woman who pops off, who raises her voice, who is overly assertive. I know he said he likes one. He likes that in the bedroom. He doesn't like it anywhere else. Not at all. We also have Felicia's best friend come. And Felicia's best friend told us that Felicia really isn't an affectionate person. But for some reason, she's real affectionate when it comes to Tyson. And that's because Tyson's really affectionate. Because like I said, Tyson is like a puppy dog. He loves to be rubbed, to be petted, to be cuddled, all those types of things. And so Felicia is saying because he has such a high need for it, is actually bringing out the affectionate side in her as well. And then we also got to see Janae's friend. And she mentioned that Janae is not normally this obsessed with men. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But Janae is so very jealous. I just really wonder whether or not she and Carlos can survive in the real world. You see, Carlos has 2 baby mamas. Two. And I'm not saying he has anything to do with those baby mamas, but Janae's interior insecurities really do get the worst of her. And I just can imagine some scenarios where Carlos is doing something for his children, or he's going the extra mile to get along with the ex-wives just for the sake of the children, and Janae looking at that as a moment of jealousy. I just see it coming. I just see jealousy with Janae and his children. Janae frightens me. I know everybody is probably rooting for them, but Janae doesn't have, for me, enough control over her emotions. And I think when a person can't control their jealousy, they look for another person to constantly control it for them. I understand that Janae has said that she's been in some relationships in which people were not faithful to her. But at this point in time, Janae seems to be overwhelmingly relying upon Carlos to do the work to make her not feel jealous. And although that might work in the beginning, because Carlos is incentivized because I think he really does like her, after a while, Carlos won't want to do that work and Janae's going to have to do it for herself. And I don't know if she's able to do that. I really don't know. Khalil's friend Crystal was there, and Khalil's friend Crystal was there, and Khalil mentioned that because she spoke up to Thaddeus the day before, and now it's awkward, and now she's being put on ice, and Thaddeus is ignoring her. That's what I'm talking about. It really is a setup for failure. And I know Tyson said he's working on a lot of things about himself. He really needs to work on this because I really don't know how you get that smart, intelligent woman, but then when she wants to clearly and articulate her emotions, her feelings, even if some of those emotions at the time are negative emotions because there's sadness or anger, that somehow he can't deal with it. He wants to say that it's only if the woman is screaming and yelling, but Dr. Cleo wasn't screaming and yelling. He still had a hard time. And although she interrupted him, he actually didn't give her enough time to correct it. And I think she would have been able to correct it. I think she would have been able to sit there and listen to him. But the minute that she slipped up and did something wrong, he was ready to cut her off all the way together. You see, I think Thaddeus has a weird relationship with liking toxic women, but not liking them. Because remember, his family said that he picks the wrong women. Remember that woman that he was engaged to, but he didn't marry her, but he has that woman as a best friend helping him raise his children. She doesn't seem like she's drama-filled. but that woman mentioned that he picks drama women because I think a part of him is drawn to it, but this probably reminds him of his mother, but yet he also doesn't like it. It's really, really weird. It's actually pretty dangerous. He needs to do a lot of work when it revolves around that. And Brianna's younger brother came and told him that Brianna's dad had passed, and maybe that's why she's a bit more reserved. And that's when Thaddeus was like, "Well, I want to see the wild side of you. I want to see the turn up side." No, you don't, Thaddeus, because the minute that side of a woman is shown, you're gonna get rid of her. You're really gonna get rid of her. And then Jennifer, we got to meet her best friend, I think Mercedes or someone like that. And her best friend said she believed Jennifer is ready for marriage. And she can't wait for the moment when she can be in Jennifer's wedding. And Carlos said he's only 5 years older than Jennifer. I thought he was way older than Jennifer, but hey, okay, I'll go with it. But do I believe that Carlos really is even thinking about choosing Jennifer? I don't think so. I think at this point in time, Carlos just wants to keep Jennifer away from Tyson because the way he looks at it is Jennifer was my perfect match, not yours, Tyson's, but mine. So really, he's just wasting Jennifer's time. He really is. Later on, Dr. Clea came back, tried to clean it up with Thaddeus, tried to apologize to him. And how did he take it? Still with a air of non-acceptance, as I'm going to say. It really wasn't a fully felt forgiveness that I felt that he gave Dr. Clea. And I think that's just going to be a stain now. And honestly, I just don't see him choosing her. I see him walking away, choosing himself for some reason. I just think that once he sees that part of a woman, it frightens him and scares him off. And it's hard to get him to come back. And the other person who got so scared and ran away was Tyson when it came to realizing that Sarah had dated R. Kelly. Now, is it horrendous? It is horrendous. But the way that Tyson flipped it on Sarah to make it seem as if, as he said, he had been kicked in the balls, I felt like that was a bit overboard. Tyson is so dramatic. Not only are we finding out that he loves all the attention, he loves everyone to dote on him, he's very immature because the fact that Sarah held that secret, she was obviously doing it to protect herself. But somehow Tyson flipped it around to act as if it was a complete affront to him. I don't know how he got there. He made it so personal to him that it was just ridiculous. Tyson started acting like he's been betrayed. That's what he said. He said he's been betrayed. And I was like, I don't think it's called betrayal of what she did. You acted as if she slept with your best friend, unless there's something I don't know that Tyson is best friends with R. Kelly. I don't understand how Sarah betrayed him. She didn't reveal the name, but I don't look at the same thing as betrayal. Now, maybe he looks at it as a lie because it's such a big piece of evidence. I can get that part. But I think all along she did say that she was dating a very famous celebrity, but she really didn't want to tell who it was. So in a lot of ways, she gave some information, but not the pertinent information. But I still believe that Tyson, and then in the end, when he did eliminate her, he couldn't even talk to her. He couldn't even look in her direction. He couldn't even address her. I thought that was so immature that he couldn't have an adult conversation about it. I really don't know who can be with Tyson for a long time. I just don't see him in a long-term relationship because he has so many red flags. He has so many parts of him that would destroy a relationship. I would just think it's hard to maintain one with him. He talked that he was so hurt that his heart was stolen from Sarah, even though he was running around with 30 other women. And in the end, he had to ask Carlos, can you be the one to eliminate Sarah because I can't do it? Man up, Tyson. This is ridiculous. He is such a child. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. It's a short review. I'm going to go on and watch the next episode. I'll come back and do a review on that so I can catch up with everyone. But that's all I got for now, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.